it going. Um, right now, Jenny's the only one on here with me, but for all of you that are watching the replay, I just wanted to spend some time here to go through a little bit of the details about what we're doing in this program, how it's going to work, and some of the expectations. And so hopefully all the questions Jenny has covers all the questions that everyone else has on the replays as well. So Jenny, go ahead and ask me anything as we're going along. But what I
Okay.
want to do, first of all, first of all, thank you all for being a part of this group. I was just telling Jenny that I've run it in this structure 1.5 times now with my inner team, and it has been awesome. So I've done accountability coaching for a little over 2 years now. I've done it with my own groups, ClickFunnels. I don't, if you know the company ClickFunnels, they hired me to do it for them for a year. And when you have true accountability, it's actually really amazing the results that you can create. I've got an accountability coach, Bart Miller, and I love sharing one of the first stories of when I first joined his accountability calls. Our calls with him, how those worked is we would have a call every day. And this is how I do most of my accountability calls, which isn't how we're going to be doing this, but we basically structure the call where we'd have 10 people on the call. When we start, if it was my turn, the first thing we do is we state our why purpose. And then we say, yesterday I was accountable for XYZ. I did it. Today I'm going to do ABC. And basically, you're setting your goals, reverse engineering them so you can break it down to weekly goals. And then you're looking at it, what's the most important thing I can do today that's going to help me achieve that goal? And so that's how the whole accountability part works. My calls with Bart when I started with him were at 6 a.m. And my very first call, I'm on with him. And if you know the ClickFunnels world, there's a bunch of people from the inner circle there. So some really big players. And I stayed my accountability and you know, everything was great. Went on with my day. Not one thing went as I had planned that day. Um, so at the end of the day, I had had a really good, really productive day. But I was like, you know what? My accountability this morning with Bart was on a specific project. I was going to do 20 outreaches. I didn't get them done. Now, for myself, normally I would have thought, you know what? It's too bad I didn't get that done. But man, it was a productive day. Priorities changed. I got things done. But in my mind, I was like, okay, I am not getting on the call with Bart tomorrow. Day two of our accountability group, all these other people on the call and saying, I didn't do it. So I got it done that night. So the next morning at 6 a.m., I was like, here's what I said I was going to do yesterday, and I did it. And I think that's a big part of accountability is having someone outside of a friend or someone close to you that's going to let you off the hook. It's going to help you do what you say you're going to do. And so what we've done now, um, there's a lady that I'm involved in a business through our team. Her name's Elise Sedevy, and she's been working on a similar program. And what we're doing with this program is combining some of the things I do with her program. And that's what I've been doing for the last 6, 7 weeks. And it's been awesome. Now, the difference is that it's not just accountability. We're putting things like morning routines in place. We're putting things like your goal setting. We get to evening routines, the accountability, all those things. One of the things she does different is for me in my accountability calls, we look at your one specific thing that you're going to accomplish that day. She calls hers the MITs, most important tasks, and it's 4 things. Now, how we're going to do this is a little bit different than having the daily accountability calls. We're going to do it through a group text. And what we do is we build on it every week. So, and what you're going to do is you're going to get an email every morning that'll have a short message and then an attached audio. And in that audio is where you'll get a coaching message and some instructions on what we're doing. In the first week, we're working on your morning routine. We're just helping you to put some habits in place and create that morning routine. And what I love about that is um, Tammy Matheny and myself use the analogy a lot. What Darren Hardy says is bookending your days. And what that is just like my example with my accountability with Bart, you can plan your day however you want. Doesn't mean it's always going to go that way. Darren Hardy talks about bookending your days is because you can control how your day starts and how it ends. And so we
Mhm.
want you to really put those routines in place to start your day strong with a win and in control. Doesn't matter what happens the rest of the day. Things can go haywire on you, but you still started your day with some wins, and then you can end your day with some wins. And so we'll work on that with you. And I'll talk a little bit more about it, but before I am going to go more into your morning routines in a moment. Um, some of the things that well, just to summarize that. So we'll start with your morning routine. The following week, we'll go into the other things. But how it's going to work is at before 9 a.m. your local time. It doesn't matter what time zone you're in. You use your local time. You're going to report to the group via text that you did those things. And each week, again, I just tried showing Jenny something on my phone, so this probably isn't going to work because of the reflection. But each week, we build on that. So if you can see this one here, this person, there's his morning routine. Then they get into here's my most important tasks from yesterday. I did them. Here's them today, my weekly goals. So each week, that text that you're going to be sending gets longer and longer because you're accountable to more things. But in week one, you're just going to text before 9 a.m. your time that you went through your morning routine. And in the coaching calls, you'll learn more about what's required in that morning routine. Um, some of the things that we're going to do is in that morning routine, we want you to focus on the things that are going to set you up for success that day. But we want you to focus on some things, nourishing your body, nourishing your mind, nourishing your spirit. In fact, I'm going to read you mine from today. My morning routine, I set this when we started this program. Can't remember if it was 6 or 7 weeks ago, but for myself, morning routine is workout, pray, read my definite chief aim and my why statement, and read 10 plus pages. In there, we've also added in some nutritional things that I'll explain in a bit as well. But you're going to be doing the same thing every morning. Now, how we're tying some of these things in, and this will tie into your night routine a little bit as well. One of the things that I want you to include when I first, well, I don't even know how long ago I did it, but I created what I call my mindset journal. It's this right here. And in there, what it's got mindset questions, and it's just a set of questions that you go through every morning just to prime yourself for the day. I'll just read them for you. So, first one is, what am I grateful for today? Second one, what is one thing that I can do today that'll take me outside my comfort zone? Third one, what are my top three priorities today? What is one thing that I can really get excited about today? What could potentially cause me stress or problems today? And how will I best handle it? Who can I serve today? And I will know my stay successful if, and then it has the next one's for accountability. Now, those mindset questions weren't designed with this program in mind. So the one thing for accountability is turned into the four MITs. In this section here at the top, it's just a place every single morning I write out my goals. Over here is my task list. My most important tasks are at the top so that I can actually schedule them and put them in my schedule. Now, we want to make that part of your morning routine, but you don't necessarily have to get the mindset journal. I'm going to share a link where it gives you all of these things. If you want to get the mindset journal to work from, there will be a link there. You can get it. It's on Amazon. If you just want the mindset questions, there will be a link there too. You can get them for free. So we want to make that as part of your morning routine. Um, the other thing, as I mentioned, I should have brought it in here with me. As I mentioned, with part of the health part of it, we do have some supplements that we want you to take. They're just some multivitamin supplements, some omegas, and we will talk more about how we use them. But then the other part of creating that morning routine is we want to take the supplements, and then included with that is this right here, which is a peppermint oil. And if you ever use peppermint oil, you'll understand, but it's part of how we want you to start your day. And all it is putting a couple drops in your hand, just like this. We want you to do two things with it. One, take your thumb and put it on the roof of your mouth. Putting some peppermint oil there. The other is rubbing them together and just breathing it in. And this is something I do as part of my morning routine. I also do it anytime I go to the gym. My son's getting ready for football. He just came and did it as he's preparing to go to football practice. So that is part of what we want to include in the morning routine. On the page I'm going to share with you, there is a link where you can purchase those supplements. Now, this is also why with my accountability groups going forward, this is part of what they're going to be doing as well. But it's also why I said, you know what, I want everyone in this group here to participate on it. I'm not going to charge the coaching fee, but there is that expense of, if you want the mindset journal, I think they're $13 or something like that. You can skip that and just get the mindset questions if you want. But there will be a link there to get the supplements. There is you get up 25% off. One of the things when you do that, when you purchase those supplements, it subscribes you to get them monthly. You don't have to stay subscribed if you decide this isn't the morning routine that you want to do. If you decide after going through it with its 30 days, you will get a notification before it renews and you can cancel that subscription. I truly believe that you won't. These supplements are something I've been taking them. I started in February. They came out with the new version of them a month ago, 2 months ago, and I've been doing it ever since. And they are some very good supplements. I'll also send some information about them, but they're very high quality, very good supplements. And the peppermint part is just an added bonus. I really like that. From there, I want to make sure I'm going through all this. Oh, one of the things that I really want everyone to do is to be thinking about what you want to get out of this. Think about what your goals are and what you're going to be working towards, because we're going to start it next Monday. I want you to be thinking of what those goals are that you want to achieve. And then I want you to really figure out what your why statement is. I mentioned earlier in my accountability calls, we start our accountability calls by stating our why. So one of the things I'll do is on the link I'm going to share with you, there's somewhere you can click called 7 Levels Deep. And there's a video there that I want you to go through that I teach you how to discover your true why. It's a really, really powerful process to go through. And so before next Monday, I want you to go through that process and just figure out what your true why statement is. The other part, and this will be explained in the audios, is we want everyone in this to be committed. And this program will go for 4 weeks. You're not accountable to anything on the weekends, but we want you to put things down as things that you can control. For example, I had someone in my last group that one of his most important tasks, he said, he's a football coach, and he said, we're going to beat such and such team tonight. Now, if you don't do any of your things, you get a strike. If you get 3 strikes, you get dropped from the group. And so I told him, I said, Bujan, you don't have 100% control over that. If you don't win the game tonight, you get a strike. That's not something you can control. And so he changed it to, I'm going to coach my best to prepare my defensive backs that they can play their best, or something like that. So we want you to put things that you do have control over that you can accomplish. Um, I think I've covered most of it. Do you have any questions, Jenny, that anyone else might be thinking about?
Um, no, you just said all the links for the oils and the journal. So
Yeah,
everything will be in this one email that you're going to send. It's like
yeah,
a
they
one-stop shop.
it's make sure you do www. Sometimes if you don't put that, it doesn't work. But
Okay.
jeffhagee.com/win challenge will bring it up. And what it's going to do is the first one gives you a link to the mindset journal or the mindset questions. So pick which one you want. Order the foundational wellness bundle there,
Okay.
and then complete your registration. Then below, it's just somewhere that you put your name, email address, phone number, and then your order number for just showing that you ordered the wellness kit. And that will put you in the system so that when we start the program, you'll get everything there. And then under that, it says discover your true why, 7 levels deep. So you know what? I'm gonna move that because just so you all know when you're listening to this, once you hit submit for your registration, it's going to take you to another page. I will put all the links on that other page as well, just so you have them, so that if you haven't done it all and it disappears on you. But they're all going to be there. Again, it's jeffhagee.com/win challenge. And I will send that link out with the replay tonight.
Okay. When you talk about when we're thinking about our goals, like, is there a certain number? Some people can be over, like myself, sometimes I can be over ambitious and I don't want to get striked.
Yeah. So
So,
so your goals are what we're working towards. So
okay.
it's all these things that we're working on a daily basis are working to help you achieve those goals. What I would do, because we do each week we will have weekly goals, and those are the things that we want to make sure that you're achieving each week. But as you're thinking about that, think, what are your bigger goals? And you can look at it as, what are my professional goals? What are
Mhm.
my personal goals? What are my spiritual goals? What are my physical goals? But just think about it in the next 4 weeks, what would you like to accomplish? But I'd also encourage you that those things that you're wanting to accomplish
Mhm.
aren't the end goal. They're a stepping stone to something bigger. Because this is a 4 week program. If everyone in the group is like, hey, so with my first group that we did it, we said, okay, we're going to do this for 4 weeks. And that was kind of, at that point, it was the dead end. And everyone's like, okay, we've done it, but we don't want to stop now. We want to keep going. So we've
Right.
continued on with, just we structured it different. They don't have to go through all the audios again and stuff. But we want you to, let's say with my accountability groups that I'm running now, I have them set, where do you want to be in a year from now? What do you see as your big goals? And then we say, okay, what do you have to do on a month to month basis to make that happen?
Mhm.
And then we break it down. Okay, this is what you have to do this month. What do you have to do by the end of the week? And then break it down to daily activities. And so I would encourage you to do that. What are some of your big goals? And what do I want to accomplish in the next 4 weeks that would get me closer to those goals?
Okay.
But, and the funny thing is, I've uh I've been running the accountability groups for over 2 years now. I do my daily accountability in my mindset journal. I haven't worked with Bart, my accountability coach, for a while now, just because scheduling and whatnot. I started doing this program, and it has really made a difference for me because I'm accountable again. Before, I'm holding myself accountable, thinking I was doing a great job of holding myself accountable. But now, when I'm answering to a group every day, and the cool
Mhm.
part is, in this group, not only am I holding myself accountable to my most important tasks, I'm holding myself accountable to what I say I'm going to do in my morning routines, in my evening routines. and things that, sometimes, well, even my workouts, I get up really early, go work out, and sometimes, things happen. I'm up late and I'm like, do I really want to get up at 4 a.m.? But now that I'm accountable to a group,
Sorry.
you're good. You're good. So it's really cool how being accountable to a group is going to help you with your morning routine. It's going to help you with your most important task. And um, the feedback that we've got from it has been outstanding. And going through those routines, taking the supplements, having that peppermint in the morning, all those things, it's just a different state that it really helps you with. Any other questions? And it's okay if your dog barks.
Yeah. Every time the garage door. See, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Can you just I wanted to make sure I'm understanding the group chat. Is it like, so will we see everyone else's response? I guess
Yes.
go in more detail on
Yep.
how that's going to work. Like, is it through an app or our
No,
phone?
we'll
Okay.
we'll do it. We'll do it through just text messages. Once
Okay.
we've got everyone registered, I will create a group message, and I try to explain everything in the emails too, because the first time we did it, there was a lot of people sending multiple text messages throughout the day, thinking they had to do certain things, which you don't want that. You don't want your phone blowing up all day from everyone's messages. But um, basically, like week one, all you're gonna do the very first day, the audio will talk to you about your morning routine, and so the group text will start on the second day. And basically what you're going to do is just text and say, list your morning routine out with a check mark each emoji next to each one saying, I did these things. If you missed your workout, you put a big X on, and you don't want to do that because the whole group's seeing that you didn't do it. Then as we go on, um, then it's going to end up being, you've got your morning routine. And then say, for example, when we get into your most important tasks, then there'll be the next section will say yesterday's MITs, and you'll have them listed out with the check marks next to them. And then below that, it'll say today's MITs and the four things that are your most important tasks that day. And so just for example, like I said, I think this group, we're on week 3. So right now, mine has, and then we get into the night routine. So mine has my night routine is my first thing in there. They've all got checks on it. Then my morning routine, they all have checks. Yesterday's MITs, they all have checks. Today's MITs, and then my weekly goals. So the text does get longer throughout the week, throughout the program, I mean, but it's just reporting that you did everything you said you're going to do. And it'll tell you in the audios that you need to do that by 9 a.m., but it's 9 a.m. your time. So wherever you are. So, in the group that I've got right now, I have people on the East Coast, I have people on the West Coast. So there's a fluctuation of when those come in. If you're an early riser and you're on the East Coast and you have all your morning tasks done by 6 a.m., that's fine. Just send it then. So,
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I can't,
alrighty.
yeah, I can't think of any other questions at the moment. I think everything was very well said. So, but we're starting next Monday.
Next Monday. So
Okay.
what will happen is you fill out this form, it'll put you into the email sequence, and you'll get your first, I'll probably have it going out fairly early because like for yourself, you're on the East Coast. I know we have people on the West Coast. So I want the emails going out fairly early, but um you you have to report by 9 a.m., but anything in the email that is new will be for the following day. So you don't necessarily have to listen to those audios before 9. And none of the audios are real long. I think there's some that are maybe 15, 20 minutes, but they're not an hour long audios or anything like that. And for any of you, if you have any questions after watching this or anything, call me or text me 801-830-3858. You can call me or text me and ask questions or email me jeff@jeffheggie.com. But I promise you this will be very impactful for you if you follow through, stay committed, and do all the things that you're committing to do. It's been amazing to watch everyone go through this.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right. Well, thanks, Jenny, for being on, and everyone else that's watching the replay. Looking forward to doing this all with you. I'll
Yep.
be in touch.